Here's what's coming up on today's show.
I say to my clients, we're going to train hard, but I want to make sure that we do it in the right way and we're safe.
This is the Retire Happy podcast with John Amarino, a fiduciary financial advisor at Securus Financial in the San Diego area, and Thomas O'Connell, president of International Financial Advisory Group, Inc. in Parsippany, New Jersey. Together, they'll be keeping retirement happy from coast to coast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Retire Happy podcast. I'm your host on the West Coast, John Marino, and I am joined by my esteemed co-host and great friend on the East Coast, Mr. Tom O'Connell. Tommy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great today, John. How are you?
Good. It's we're a couple days past Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And this ties into today's guest, but I'm a little bit of a couple pounds heavier after the trip.
I'm feeling a little fat myself. So today's special guest will help all of us with that.
Yeah. So, and life outside is good. We got a big opportunity for Jake. Got invited to play on a national elite team that's being paid for and sponsored by the Milwaukee Brewers. So that's in March. So a little Christmas gift early for him. And
that means we have to drink some more beer so that they can make some more profits to support them.
Yes, exactly. And Haley's doing good in gymnastics, and so life is good. How about Emma back at school now?
Emma's back at school. She was home for a few days, loving being a city rat, enjoying everything that New York City can offer her. She's made a decision that she's going to do her spring study abroad in 2027 in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Oh, great. You get to watch the dog.
Oh, again, yeah.
Well, folks, like we said, this is post-Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody listening to this is a little bit heavier from all the good food. And, Tom, we've talked about this in the past. We had your friend, Dr. Chris Stepien on. But this is something as we're rolling out some New Year's resolutions early, because I personally talk to my clients a lot about health. And I know Tommy and I, we both talked and used this phrase: if you don't have your health, your wealth is meaningless. So today's guest is going to reinforce what we talked about with Chris and other guests in the past, and really hone in on fitness, especially as you age. So our special guest today is Nichole Van Cliff. Nichole is a U.S. Air Force veteran whose career has spanned global banking, legal compliance, and, of course, fitness. She is a competitive bikini bodybuilder and a strong fitness magazine, Women to Watch. She brings the same discipline and drive to her role as founder and CEO of FitFin Wellness, where she focuses on helping seniors and clients of every age gain strength, mobility, and confidence through personalized training. Nichole is a certified personal trainer and advocate for healthy living, and might I add, hopefully by the end of the year or the end of her next year, an IFBB Pro fitness athlete. And Nichole pairs her professional expertise with a passion for lifting up others. She also hosts the Daily Constitution podcast, where her voice, insight, and energy inspires listeners to live a boldly, age powerfully, and embrace their full potential at every stage in life. So, folks, she is an awesome person, and we are absolutely ecstatic to have Nichole on the show. Welcome, Nichole, folks.
And today's guest, the founder and CEO of FitFin Wellness, it's Nichole Van Cliff.
Thank you so much, John and Tom, for having me here. I'm so excited to be here. And that was a wonderful introduction. I have a lot of jobs.
Yeah, that was quite the. I mean, you've accomplished a lot.
And that doesn't even include your 3 kids.
No, no. I try to stay busy. I try to stay focused. And, as you said, I work with seniors. I work full time as a compliance lawyer, working in brokerage and institutional trades and securities. I am a veteran, and so I work with the veterans. But I'm happy that you guys are giving me an opportunity to come onto your platform and discuss something that is so important. You guys work heavily with clients that have portfolios, and you talk about money management. And I've listened to your podcast since 2022, right? And listen to all the guests that you've had on and have taken away a lot of great advice. But something that resonates with me is when you walk away, when you retire, when you're sedentary, what happens then? If you haven't been maintaining muscle mass, if you haven't been in the gym working out, even, going for a walk, taking the dog for a walk. So I think that that's where I come into play, and hopefully I can impart on the people that are listening, your viewers, that it doesn't end once you retire. You can continue to build muscle mass and move forward.
Now, Nichole, obviously, I mean, you are in absolutely phenomenal shape. I mean, way beyond the shape that it takes of just going to the gym. You leave a very disciplined and professional fitness lifestyle. When people are like that, they typically like to train others that are looking at that high level, but you have a different focus and passion. So, why the passion towards seniors versus the younger, person trying to up and come in the gym?
I watched my dad. He passed away in 2016. He was just full of life, and he loved to get into his car and drive. And my mom's a nurse. And so I watched him move around and enjoy his retirement life and work with the grandkids and pick them up. And so for me, it's about a lot wanting for seniors to have that autonomy, to have that mobility, to be able to get in their car and go to the store, to be able to walk their dogs, to be able to sit and stand without pain. And so I think that that's where the passion comes into play, me wanting to just impart more to help seniors be more mobile. I think that that's where it comes into play for me.
So I'd like to just start by thanking you for your service.
Thank you for your
Uh,
support.
it's greatly appreciated by all of us. When you focus in on the seniors, it's going to be kind of a different way of going about of getting people either in shape or the
Mhm.
types of exercises. So it's not really about lifting the heaviest weights and things like
No.
that, right? So let's maybe walk through if someone were to say called us up and said, "Hey, we heard Nichole, we want to work out with her." What are the beginning steps for someone to start a program?
When they come in, I do a comprehensive assessment. I talk with them about any kind of surgeries they've had, any ailments, whether or not they're pre-diabetic or if they've had back surgeries. I've had two men clients, and they're dealing with issues of their low testosterone levels. And so I can read labs as well. So I read their labs and help them get on a path of where they want to be. I like to meet my clients where they are. And so we're not going to just jump into a program that's where you're lifting, like you said, where you're lifting the heavy weights. I'm going to meet you where you are. I'm going to meet you where you are with your meal plan and focus on getting to you to a level to where you're comfortable, to where you feel safe. I say to my clients, we're going to train hard, but I want to make sure that we do it in the right way and we're safe.
So you said it, I think, a couple of times so far, which maybe we should point out as well. what's as important, I think, as the working out part is the nutrition part. And
Hmm.
that's something that you work with as well, right?
Yes,
Just
I
because
also.
we're retired doesn't mean we can just sit around and eat ho-ho cakes and and potato chips all day. We still have to focus in on our diet.
I also work on the nutrition as well. And you know how difficult it is for people to change habits. Me going into this whole fitness, the reason why I decided to change my unhealthy living is because I was addicted to sugar. It's one of the things that kept me going. And so I decided that I want to be healthy for my children. I want to be healthy for the people that are around me. I want to be the best version of myself. So it was very difficult for me to wean myself off of my sugar addiction, just as it is for my clients. If the things that they like, it's difficult for them to wean off. So what I do, as I said, I meet my clients where they are, is I incorporate healthy things as we go along in the program. And pretty soon, after they've been in the program for a while, they're realizing they're eating healthy. They're feeling better. They're looking better. Their waistline is getting smaller. And so once you start to see the results, you want to do more.
I've encouraged my clients through health goals, one a year, just go on a morning and evening walk.
Hmm.
But, like you said, I'm not anywhere nearly disciplined as you, but I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And just in a day of not, or a couple days of not eating good versus back to reality of this, or, before and after,
Hmm.
the effects on your just energy are amazing. And I think,
Right.
can you talk to some of the success that you've had with people? And again, I love how you say where people are kind of set in their ways, and that's psychologically proven. As
Hmm.
people get closer to, I think they say the age 70, everything they're locked in their ways. They're not going to change, whether it's investments or things that they're doing. How can we just simply break that cycle and just get moving? Because 70 is not too late to start.
No, no, it's not. I say set clear and non-negotiable goals for yourself. Say, I'm going to, every Wednesday, I'm going to take a walk. Or every Wednesday, I'm going to take the dog out and we're going to go 3 miles. Set non-negotiable goals for yourself where you can really pivot from that and not be so regimented on this is what I'm going to do, because you will fail. You will fail if you say in 2026 I'm going to go to the gym every single day and I'm going to do this and I'm going to change my diet. You will fail. But if you set small, non-negotiable goals for yourself, um, it's easier to obtain those goals.
So, I mean, it's just like in our business too, right? So it's those incremental successes
Hmm.
that kind of build one on top of another to get you to a point where now everything you're doing is really habitual.
Hmm.
But they're good habits now, maybe not the bad habits that we were used to doing for all those years. Would you recommend during those successes that is there a reward that you would say, you would create a reward system for yourself as well once you hit certain accomplishments?
So I'd like to think of that in three folds, and this is what I've been keying my clients up to this for 2026. Set your non-negotiables. Have a partner, a buddy system, someone that's going to help you along the way, and celebrate those wins. You're going to fall down. You're going to have those ho-hos, or you're going to have that ice cream. That's going to happen, but don't allow that to derail you from your ultimate goal. and just keep moving. And what I like, I think society looks at people on TV. They look on at people on the gram, and they think, oh, I should look like them or I should look like that. Focus on yourself. It's not about it, cut out all the noise. It's not about everybody else around you. It's about you, your health, your well-being, you being here for the next 10, 20, so years for your family, for your friends. Focus on that.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's what I
kind of the
say.
same thing that we say too, right, John?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Your plan or your investment strategy or your legacy plan, it's about you. It's not about anybody else's idea of what a success is. It's what you think your success is.
Mhm.
And even more so, when we talk to the DNA of a financial plan, I mean, everybody's bodies are just completely different.
Mhm.
You have guys that are marathon guys, and then you have guys like me that are not marathon guys, right?
Mhm.
We're just, naturally bigger guys, and you can't fit my workout profile into that profile. And I think that's and again, even more so where I love the fact that you encourage the lab work,
Mhm.
reading those labs, because that's the huge thing.
And genetics comes into play and all of that. I think it is so important to, as you guys talk about, you build systems, you build their portfolios, you work on your what happens next after you retire. The same should happen with your health. You should be going to the doctors. You should be making sure that you get your regular checkups. 3 to 5% after the age of 40, you lose 3 to 5% of your your muscle mass. So to continue to work on maintaining your muscle mass, to keep your muscles engaged and active in whatever it is you do, whether or not you walk, you run, you ride bikes, whatever you like to do, just stay active. Stay moving, stay motivated. It keeps your brain moving. It helps with that brain fog, meaning how do you know how you're thinking about something and you really want to say something and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you can't remember it? That kind of thing. So it
Well,
really
every
helps.
day.
Yeah, it really helps with that muscle memory, keeping yourself active and engaged, and reading. If you like to read, reading is so good and it's so fundamental to keeping your brain. I've heard scientists say that the Sudoku, that game that
But
The
Sudoku,
Sudoku,
kudo.
yeah,
Sudoku.
that I've heard that really helps with mental clarity. All of those things, they work together in combination of the total health and wellness of the person.
One of the things I do every morning is a Wordle puzzle, and it's me versus Emma, right? So we challenge each other. So one of us will finish it. We see how quickly the other, we can finish it. We send it off to the other person. So I hear what you're saying. The Sakudo is probably a little bit too difficult for me. So I'm a little bit better with the wordsmithing.
Hmm.
But that's something that I do every day, or try to do every day, just to keep, and I do it in the morning just to try to get the engine revving,
Hmm.
to move the day along.
You were talking about, staying active, and there's three people at my gym that are there every morning. One lady is 78, two of the guys are 70. And they all said that the key, and I go up to them, listen, how are you in this shape? I mean, the one guy is like a little kind of Guido muscle builder. And I'm like, how are you maintaining this body at 69, 70 years old? I mean, you're cut arms, you're not,
Hmm.
and are you on, TRT or anything? He's like, nope, I'm not getting on any of that. I've just kept to the regiment. I don't lift heavy. I lift correctly.
Hmm.
And I just try to eat, stuff from the earth. And
Hmm.
then there's another gentleman that, he's a leaner, different body type, but unbelievably toned. And I saw him doing some stuff, and he was doing Tai Chi. And
Hmm.
he goes, every morning I do Tai Chi because of joint health. And that has helped me sustain, he goes, I believe that's what's helped me sustain a healthy, injury-free body is just those joints. And I was reading your latest, magazine article, and one of the professionals says, happy joints, happy you.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
I think it is so important in addition to the strength training, it's so important to stretch. Stretching, yoga. I've noticed a lot more men doing Pilates. It's not as taboo as it used to be. But I think stretching is so important. I absolutely love foam rolling. It's really good. Also, it feels really good on, the muscles as the foam rolls against, different parts of the muscle. So I think incorporating a little moderate for seniors, if you are a senior, or incorporating a little moderate strength training in addition to definitely stretching prior to your strength training,
And
for
stretching
sure.
has really become a big part of the pre and post workouts for
Hmm.
people. I remember, when I played soccer, high school, college, club and all that kind of, we just went through the motions to warm, kind of stretch before a game. But now, when I saw Emma's school, not only after practice, but after every game, the
Hmm.
team would have a stretch session.
Hmm.
And I guess that cuts down on the lactic acids and all that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
if I said that correctly.
Hmm.
But it's becoming, people are becoming much more aware of stretching and the importance of it.
Yeah, there are labs out there now, stretch labs.
Yeah, I saw we
Well,
just had one open up by me. Yeah.
yeah, where people just go and they get stretched. And that's something that I provide for my clients. After we work out, I stretch them and they absolutely enjoy it, but I show them how the proper way to stretch so they don't hurt themselves.
so getting to that point, and you work with a lot of retirees, so I want to go over your area of focus. You volunteer, which I love. You're always taking care of veterans, always volunteering to help them out with any cost, sticking with, the brothers and sisters from your military days.
Hmm.
You do personal training one-on-one,
Hmm.
but you work a lot at senior facilities, independent living, assisted living.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, and you've actually talked to my wife about this because my wife is an administrator at a skilled
Hmm.
nursing and assisted living. Would you mind just sharing on a broad approach, obviously not talking specifics, but aside from, the major stroke or car accident, why do most people have those fundamental body issues that perhaps put them in facilities, or is and was it the lack of movement, or are there things that you see a lot of that could have perhaps helped them avoid their current situation in terms of fitness and staying active?
So within the nursing homes, I do what's called, for the modern maturity centers, I do what's called cardio drumming. And it's where you take a yoga ball, you put it in a basket, and you use drumsticks to drum to the beat of music. Is it's movement, it's memory, it's cognitive function. It helps, it's nostalgia. It helps people, especially as you age, it helps you remember. It triggers certain memories. And so it's powerful. And when I'm at the nursing home, it's a little bit different. Some of them can't hold the drumsticks. And so I had to incorporate tambourines. If they can grasp the tambourines, then they're engaged. But I have individuals that have that they're experiencing cognitive decline when they hear a song that triggers them. They may get up if they are sedentary in a wheelchair, they may try to get up and stand because they want to move to the beat of the music. It is just so powerful. And I think muscle memory, it's all muscle memory, to help you move and engage. And so I'm bringing forth just a platform for these seniors to allow them to feel connected in some way. And they really appreciate that. So the answer to your question is in two parts. One, the senior centers, these individuals are here because either they cannot live on their own and they need assistance, or they've had some kind of cognitive decline. And so that those are the individuals that I work with, and that I find that they enjoy it because they don't often get to see their family members. People don't often come to see them. And so when I come, they are ready. They are ready. They are engaged. They have their water bottles. And so it's really a good feeling to be able to bring that joy to seniors on that level. I guess if that answers your
Well,
question.
yeah, and I mean, it's just, for a lot of, I've seen it with, even my dad, now that he's kind of recovering. For a couple years, he was dealing with, some medical injuries and issues, and he just kind of, stopped doing just the little things, and it
Mhm.
had that dramatic impact where it's like,
Mhm.
it was more of a sedentary lifestyle. And now, my dad's 85, and now we're seeing the turn around.
Mhm.
He just came to my son's tournament last month, and I'm like, man, Dad, you've lost a lot of weight. And he was an athletic guy when he was younger.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter what age you are. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to ask you is, you have people that, like you said, they have to live in this assisted living because they
Mhm.
can't live by themselves. But even in that situation, which most of our listeners are not in that dire straits, you
Right.
can turn it around at any age. You
You
can
can.
improve.
You can. You can. As I said, it's muscle memory, and working and engaging with the muscles and moving them. I also work with the physical therapist. I continue on the path of what the physical therapist, what their protocol is, and incorporate and modify the moves so that they can participate in the program. And so they even pick the music sometimes, which is really good. And they may have arguments on what song we're going to play next. So I just think I'm really enjoying the work with the veterans. It's a little bit different. They have deal with a lot of PTSD. Sometimes the noise, the sound of the music, and so I have to choose selections that are less, that are a little more soothing. And I can't choose heavy metal kind of stuff because we don't want anybody to be triggered. But it's a little bit different with the veterans as well, and they really appreciate when I come and engage with them because some of them have one limb and they can only drum with one arm, but you see them still trying. And I guess what I'm trying to say to your listeners, if you guys are out there listening, if I am working with these people who have one arm and one leg, and they are suffering from cognitive decline, and you are a fully functioning individual who can move around, who can drive, there is no excuse for to not continue to move in whatever capacity you can move, to engage, and in however you can engage. There is no excuse. If they're doing it, so can you.
Would you say that we maybe as a society are a little bit lazy and that maybe we don't have the foundation of good nutrition and good health that maybe past generations have. I mean, and what I mean by that is I know back in, I guess, the 1990s, early 2000s, a lot of schools started cutting out physical education,
Hmm.
or it became an elective versus, when I was in school, you had to go to gym class at least twice a week, right? So has that created a generation or generations of people not knowing how to be or stay in shape, do you think?
I think we just have in America, we there is just so much abundance around us, and people have a tendency to take that for granted. There's with the pandemic, there a lot of people were home, and so we've developed these habits of eating and sitting at the front of the TV, and the kids, they're playing video games, so they developed the habit of, going downstairs to the refrigerator, coming back upstairs and playing the video games for hours. Um, I just think that we as a society have become complacent about just general health and nutrition. I think there is a tide turning, though. Again, we have the stretch labs out there. People are into the Pilates and the yoga. People are doing the spin classes. I absolutely love spin. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there doing spin with they have those spin bikes. What are they called?
Ben bikes?
Uh, yeah, spin bike. Pelotons?
They have- there's a name for it. Um,
Pelotons? I don't know.
the Pelotons. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have the Pelotons. And so people order those. I know that was a huge thing, having the Pelotons. And so I think the tide is turning and people are realizing that, okay, it's time to we need to do something. We need to get out. We're living longer. We're also living longer. And so I want to go back to John. You talked about TRT and hormone replacement therapy because I would like to touch on that. Uh,
Absolutely.
as you age, for men and women, certain things happen to your body. Men, your testosterone levels drop, the hormones are out of whack, your estrogen level, men, you do have estrogen, your estrogen levels, they increase. And so, um, going to your doctor and getting your labs, I think it is so important to get your labs done and checked and make sure that your levels are in balance. For the women also, we do hormone replacement therapy as we progress. In our 40s, there's perimenopause and menopause, so we also have to focus on that. The mood swings, the night sweats, all of the things that happen with women also happen with the men. Men have the what do you call it? The midlife crisis.
Tommy's got his Miata.
Do they still make those?
I don't know. Fiero, would you prefer Fiero?
No, I had an MR2. That was a
Yeah, so
Toyota version.
I mean, Nichole, that's a great point because I've had my labs done and, thankfully I've got high enough testosterone where I don't need TRT, but
Mhm.
I know buddies, I'm 49 and I've got a bunch of friends that are on them,
Mhm.
whether they need to be on them or not, is subjective, but it's still synthetic. And now you're basically on the big pharma train for the rest of your life
Mhm.
because you can't get off of it. Which, for me, I'm looking more towards peptides and things like that.
Yeah.
What's your take really quick on TRT and the peptide world?
Well, I just had this conversation with my coach. Um,
Can I interrupt 1 second?
yes.
For those who don't know, let's explain what TRT is, and then let's explain what a peptide is, and then you can go into the difference.
It's so nice having Tommy on because he doesn't know what they are. So let's
I
explain.
do actually.
Okay. TRT is testosterone replacement therapy. HRT is for women, hormone replacement therapy. And peptides are they are the other. There are CJC21, they are the HGH, all of those different peptides. What I want, my take on peptides, my take on TRT and HRT is I want to see what your body does first. I want to see what your genetics does first. Let's work on your nutrition. Let's focus on the workout routine that I've provided for you. And let's see how your body responds to what I'm doing for you. Then we discuss peptides. Your body naturally makes HGH and CJC21. Your body naturally makes all of that. Your body naturally makes testosterone. So and estrogen and all of that stuff. So let's see what we can do with the program and the protocol that I put together for you first before we go down that rabbit hole. Because, like you said, John, once you go down that path, you really can't go back. It's the same thing with these weight loss drugs, all of those things. Once you start taking those, the Wegovy's and the
Ozempa.
tirzepatide and all of those, once you start taking those and you stop, that's why you gain the weight back
Right.
because your body naturally makes them, but you're taking a synthetic drug and injecting it into your body, and now your body forgets to make that. So once you stop taking it, then you start to gain the weight back. And so I deal with clients that have come off of the Wegovy and the tirzepatide and the retatrutide, and now they have skin elasticity. So they have, meaning they have loose skin, and their hunger level, their satiety level is through the roof because they're not balanced. They can't balance their hunger. So I work with a lot of that. My take on it is let's see what your body does first.
And I like that because I still think, kind of going back to what Tommy said, I think people just want that easier
Quick.
fix. And nothing in life that is easy is really worth, a while. So um here in the last couple minutes, I want to talk about how people can access your help. Obviously, you're on the East Coast.
Hmm.
I'm on the West Coast, and then we have the people in between. So, where do you do in-person training, first of all?
Well, I'm on the East Coast.
Well, it's a big coast, Nichole.
I
Let's
am
narrow it down a little bit.
I am located in Delaware, and I work out of two gyms. Club Fitness is my main gym. I work out of there as a personal trainer. Snap Fitness here in Dayton in Clayton, Delaware. I work out of there, but I also have my own app. Where people can download my app to their iPhone or their Android, and reach out to me. I have my own website, fitfinwellness.com, and I can train wherever you are.
And we'll put that in the show notes, folks. So you can scan the QR code or go just click onto her website to get that app.
Yes.
And it's important to have the guidance. I've because of my past, I've lifted since my teens and have always continued fitness. But again, if you're new to the game and you're looking to change and improve, not just, your physical abilities, but your mental focus
Hmm.
and just your energy. I strongly suggest reaching out to Nichole. I mean, it's one thing to preach to others. This woman lives by the book. I have been out to dinner with her where, my whole family were just feeding our faces on all these sushi rolls, and she was just sitting there with one small piece of fish and some lettuce. She lives what she preaches.
Yeah.
So, folks, I would definitely, like Nichole said, take small steps. Now, one last thing, because as I'm looking at Tommy in he's in his heavy clothing that he's wearing indoors in Jersey because it's cold. West Coast in San Diego, we really literally have no excuse. Like, you can put on a jacket. Yes, it might be 50 degrees in the morning, but you can put out a jacket and some slacks or some jogger pants and go for a walk evening, dawn in the morning and the evening. What do people do, out in Delaware or in Jersey when it's snowing or in Chicago? How can they, without going to the gym, do some movement?
Easy. Order a set of resistance bands. You can do light mobility, weight training at home. Get yourself a set of weights at home. Do leg lunges around the house. Do knee lifts around the house. Use your chair as a bench where you can do drop sets off of your chair. There's so many things that you can do at home using the steps, walking up and down the steps. That's how you get your cardio. Taking the trash down to the curb. That's how you get your cardio. There's so many things that you can do at home to get that exercise, to keep yourself moving. It's amazing of what you can do. Get a yoga ball. Use
You
the
can get a
yoga ball
jump rope in your garage.
in the garage, yeah. Do leg lifts. Um, all things you can
Push-ups, jumping jacks,
do.
frogs. What are they? Not frogs. What do they call
Bear crawl.
those like the squat thrusts?
Well,
Sure.
and one great movement that I could see retirees doing are Hindu squats, where whether you need to hold on to something to balance, but where you squat down and then you actually go from your toes up through your body, so you're working your ankle joints, your knee joints, your lower back, and you're still working those quad muscles. But yeah, I guess in addition to all those things around the house, you just download Nicole's app, and
Yeah.
there you probably have some home exercises to do too.
Yeah. If you have trouble, and if you are a senior and you have trouble getting onto the floor, as I said, use your chair as your stabilizer. You can stand behind your chair and do leg lifts behind your chair, do squats behind the chair, do leg lifts sitting in the chair. There's so many things you can do. Raise your arms, use the laundry detergent as weights. There's so many things that you can do.
Yeah, and I even got this from my mom. She has a single story, and of course, some people may not feel comfortable with their stairs, but I actually got just a little stair stepper. And it's just two steps, and
Mhm.
she'll just kind of go behind the bar, and she'll put on her favorite TV show, and she'll just do some just up down steps on this little machine. You're not,
Mhm.
she's not going to fall. She's got her balance.
Mhm.
And again, my mom is 83. And it's just a good way to build strength in your
Mhm.
legs, but keep those joints moving.
Yes.
So, one last thing in terms of recovery. Obviously, we don't want people going full bore. Take the exercise to points where you're not hurting and whatnot. But if you're new to working out, you're going to be sore. Um, What's your thoughts on Epsom salt rubs, Epsom salt baths, things that, are non-pharmaceutical, not Tylenol or any of that but natural things that people can take or rub on their body to help, whether it's magnesium or whatnot to help with their muscle soreness.
Oh, as I said, the foam roller is really good. You can sit in a chair and do a foam roller. You can if you cannot, most of the seniors can't get into the bathtub and get out. So, massages, getting massages are really good. Massaging your own body, having your partner massage your body. Um, Doing light stretches. So leaning over with your legs and stretching out your hamstrings. All of those things can help loosen up those muscle tendons, keep your joints moving in the right way. And what I want to say is focus on the why you are doing what you're doing. You want to live longer for your family. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to drive in your car, um, and go from there. So I guess I'll leave it at that.
No, that's a perfect, thing to do, right? Have your purpose. We've talked about that in past podcasts, right? Have your purpose, and that should be, everyone's purpose. My wife and I, we work out every day, and part of that purpose is to instill that physical fitness into our children. So, absolutely agree with that. Well, Nichole, thank you so much for spending your time, folks. I highly recommend you visit Nichole's website, download her app, and just get on the right path. It's never too late to start. Like Nichole said, she's even helping people improve their lives that are in assisted living facilities. So if you're at home listening to this, as Tommy would say, put the ho-ho down, put the remote down, and grab Nichole's app. So
wait, I have to put the ho-ho down before we sign off here.
Yeah, you got a little bit of chocolate on your face, Tom. So Nichole, thanks again for coming on and helping us with our end of year resolutions to start 2026 off the right way.
Yes, and John and Tom, I just really want to thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It's just been amazing. So thank you for
We
that.
appreciate you.
Yeah. So folks, that wraps up the post-Thanksgiving edition of the Retire Happy podcast. We have one more podcast for this year. It's going to be a return guest to talk about investing, Joe Casey. So that will be recorded in a couple weeks, and be on the lookout for that. Until then, have a safe, warm, and retire happy December. Take care, folks.
It's easy to get in touch with John and Thomas. If you're more on the West Coast, give John a call at 858-758-9889. That's 858-758-9889. Or go online to GoSecurus.com. That's GoSecurus.com. If you're more of an East Coaster, then call Thomas, 973-394-0623. That's 973-394-0623. And online at internationalfinancial.com. That's internationalfinancial.com. And you can, of course, always just check the description of today's show for all that contact information. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the podcast on your favorite apps, and we'll see you next time on the Retire Happy Podcast.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, LLC, BCM, a registered investment advisor. BCM, Securus Financial, and International Financial Advisory Group are independent of each other. Insurance products and services are not offered through BCM, but are offered and sold through individually licensed and appointed agents. The opinions expressed by John Amarino, Thomas O'Connell, and guests on this show are their own, and are based upon information considered reliable, although it should not be relied upon as such. Any statements or opinions are subject to change without notice. Investments involve risk, and unless otherwise stated, are not guaranteed. Past performance cannot be used as an indicator to determine future results. Any strategies mentioned may not be suitable for everyone. Information expressed does not take into account your specific situation or objectives, and is not intended as recommendations appropriate for you. Before acting on any information mentioned, please consult with a qualified tax or investment advisor to determine if it is suitable for your specific situation. This program is designed to provide accurate and authoritative information with regard to the subjects covered. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosure of any conflicts of interest. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV 2A Item 4, for additional information.